in order to get you need to, and I just typed in default. That's all. You'll find all the different versions. So if you're running Linux, I would pick NDI for OBS, but let's see what it does. Okay, so I installed it, moved it to the trash, and let's see. Now we would go to, let's check out OBS, and we'll go here, and you'll be able to see your NDI sources down below in your sources. And so you can hit the plus sign, you'll find all your different sources. We're going to be needing that so we can find NDI sources. Okay. That's the first thing. The next step is going to be going into free show. All right. And so if we click in free show, we will have options on the settings side. So we go to our settings in the upper right. We're going to go over to outputs, and in the output section, I've got a primary, and the primary is enabled, and we got enable NDI is activated, and then it's set right now to an invisible window. All right. And so what that means is it's not going to send a signal to a certain physical screen. It's just going to make it available through NDI. Okay. And so that's fine for this particular scenario because I don't have a screen to connect and send the signal to. But if you did have a screen, you don't need that on, and you would actually just pick a screen. Okay. So you would pick screen 1 or screen 2. In my case, I've got 2 screens, but I'm recording on both of them. So I didn't turn that on. But for you, you would pick the screen you wanted to go to. And whenever we actually activate the output by presenting up here in the upper right, it'll go to that screen, but it will still also be available by the NDI setup that we have as well. Okay. I'm turning mine off for recording purposes. It's not needed for me because I don't have another screen. But this is going to be what the screen looks like, and we're going to look for this screen in OBS. All right. So now that we've turned NDI on, I can click here. My show is going. That's great. Now let's go to OBS. We're going to create a scene. Okay. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to call this the NDI tutorial. All right. And we're going to say, okay. And so I've got blank sources. So there's no sources here. I have to hit the plus sign down at the bottom. And then we're going to go to an NDI source. And that source is going to be free show. We just got to find it. Okay. And I've got it set up here, but I'm going to name this one NDI primary. If you've never used this before, you won't have anything set up in your existing. So we're going to act like that's not there. If you have used NDI and OBS before, you may have a list of existing sources. If it's one that you need, you would click that. You would just click the add. Source default. That's all. I'm at my browser and I just typed in NDI for OBS, and you would click on the open broadcast software, which is what OBS is. And what you'll find is this program called Distro AV Network. And you would say, go to download, and it would take you to GitHub, and you can, let's see here, new created NDI source default. That's all here. And what I do is I just scroll down to the bottom, and you will find in there new created AQ network, and you would say, go to download, and it would take you typed in NDI for OBS, and you would click on the open broadcast software, which is what OBS is. OBS, and you would click on the open broadcast software, which is what OBS is. And what you'll find is this program called Distro AV Network, and you would say, go to download, and it would take you to GitHub, and you can, let's see here, new created NDI source default. That's all here. And what I do is I just scroll down to the bottom, and you will find all the different versions. So if you're running Linux, if you're running Windows, you would pick one of those particular options. And in my case, I would pick a Mac because I'm running a Mac. And so you would download that. Let's see here.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And this is your brain when you're in the zone, but getting in the zone.
And I've already got NDI for OBS, but let's see what it does. Okay, so I installed it.